My F27 husband, M30, thinks he shouldn't watch Baby 3 Mo overnight because other men don't. On mobile. Sorry. Context. I, F27, watch my son, 3 Mon, from 9 p.m. 4 a.m. while my husband, M30, sleeps. He watches him from 48 a.m. while I sleep. I then watch him from 85 p.m. while he works. Husband then watched him 58 p.m. and the cycle repeats. We have a good baby. He usually wakes once or twice at night to eat. Last night at 8 p.m. he just exploded at me. Very unlike him. That he shouldn't wake up with the baby at all. He said no husband we know does this. He kept repeating, name one man who does. I told him comparing us to other relationships isn't constructive and pointed out how other dads we know do extra in other ways. Work overtime. Have babies with colic that need extra care. Etc. He said he's tired of going above and beyond. Honestly, I was shocked. I've never heard him say anything like this. I asked if something happened at work or if he needed a break to tell me. I said I try to thank him often, give him affection and tell him how great he is with our boy. But he just said, I tell other dads I'm awake at 4 before work and they can't believe it. He did get up at 4 a.m. last night and he left for work and we haven't spoken. Is our system wrong? Is this just a bruised male ego? Looking for suggestions. This is our first baby and I'm wondering how other parents navigate the night shift. And how to navigate this sudden outburst. Many thanks. Edit. Since there seems to be some confusion, I am not awake with him all night. I am responsible for him on my shift. I sleep when he sleeps, so does my husband. Edit 2. I am not a stay-at-home mom. I am on maternity leave for a year. Standard in Canada. Final update. First, I really appreciate the men and women who understand that mat leave is not a vacation. And I do not just sit in my jammies, as someone mentioned. My husband came home and spoke with me on his lunch break. He apologized and said he had a rough week at work, and will work on communicating when he needs a break. He said he understands how difficult watching our son can be, and he feels guilty asking for breaks or free time. I told him I don't mind giving him extra time here and there when he needs it, but that I am not a mind reader. I also mentioned I thought he'd be proud that he is doing more than other dads he knows, not envious. He said he wants to keep the schedule the same, and he enjoys having the early morning hours, just the two of them to bond. He understands he let his feelings boil over and will work on communicating his needs. Thank you to everyone, except the man who hates mat leave. You know who you are. I hear a lot of him comparing himself with other men, which unfortunately may be a sample size issue and a problem with the men he knows. I would redirect and ask why it's above and beyond for him to do this but not above and beyond for you. Why isn't he comparing his efforts to yours? You are partners equally responsible for your child. When he works, you are working too by providing all the childcare and then you split the non-work hours. This seems like a pretty fair system, so his comparison to other men is pretty weak. Plus, he probably doesn't 100% even know what these other men are and aren't doing. He needs to refocus and reevaluate. I'm guessing he's tired because being a parent is hard, but that doesn't mean your arrangement isn't fair. That sounds like a great system. To say other guys don't get up with their children is childish at best. It's called bring a partner and a father. You don't get to pick and choose the parts of the relationship that are easy or convenient. No one likes getting up in the middle of the night to tend to their little one. But to say you shouldn't have to because you're a man is extremely misogynistic. We don't live in the 50s anymore. If he doesn't know a guy who does that, he needs to meet better guys. Sure, a lot of men are jerks who don't think they should parent their child. But you didn't want to marry one of those guys. Presumably, I would get someone to watch the baby and sit down together, discuss the possible solutions that would allow both of you a decent amount of sleep. Also, talk about other concerns you both have. The newborn stage is intense, but it also doesn't last forever. There may not be a perfect solution, but you two can find something good enough to get through it. My husband would have done anything for this opportunity. My daughter refused every bottle, only wanted the boob. Your husband is acting like it's the 1950s where you're supposed to have the little woman's place. This is unacceptable, to say the very least. It takes two to make a child. This is his responsibility just as much as it is yours. Please do not have another child with this man. You honestly deserve a better husband. There is nothing wrong with y'all's current plan. I could see if he came to you and said, "Babe, listen, I'm super tired at work. How about I do weekend shifts with baby?" That's communicating the needs he has. That's acceptable. But to full out claim that taking care of his child is not his responsibility is not only a bad husband stance but also a bad father. Beware. FYI, above and beyond is in the description to be a good parent. He should get used to it early. So what he's saying is he wants more of the parenting to fall on you because apparently, to him, men shouldn't be up with their own kids? Fucking yikes. Hi, I'm a man. I got up at least half the time with both of my kids to feed and or rock them. Now you can tell him you know a man that has done it. Parents always go above and beyond. That's part of being a parent. That being said, perhaps your system isn't working. Part of his outburst could be sleep deprivation. Again, part of being a parent of an infant. Lol. You say the baby wakes up a few times to eat. Does he have other issues? If not, couldn't you both sleep and simply set alarms for when the baby needs to eat and take turns with the feedings? This way you're not both up for hours at a time throughout the night. Just one idea. There are many other variations that could be tried, I'm sure. One other thought. I'm not sure if you work outside the home or not. If not, husband could be thinking that you may have a chance to nap when baby does throughout the day where he doesn't since he's at work. All just a few things to consider. However, it seems like maybe both the current plan and husband's attitude need some tweaking. Welcome to our relationship advice. Please make sure you read our rules here. We'd like to take this time to remind users that we do not allow any type of "am I the asshole?" or situations, content involving minors. Any sort of name-calling, insults, etc. will result in the comment being removed and the user being banned. No referencing hateful subreddits and or their rhetoric. Includes, but is not limited to, red, blue, black, purple pill, FDS, MGTOW, etc. Any infractions of this rule will result in a ban. This is not an all-inclusive list. All bans in this subreddit are permanent. You don't get a free pass. What we cannot give advice on: rants, unsolicited advice, medical conditions, advice, mental illness, letters to an ex, body counts, or number of sexual partners, legal problems, financial problems, or situations involving minors and or abuse, violence, sexual, emotional, etc. All of these will be removed and locked. This is not an all-inclusive list. If you have any questions, please send us a mod mail. #This is an automatic comment that appears on all posts. This comment does not necessarily mean your post violates any rules. I am a bot, and this action was performed automatically. Please contact the moderators of this subreddit if you have any questions or concerns. Happy to read you had a great conversation with your husband. Wishing you and your family the best of luck going forward. Hi, Tell your husband my husband said he's a baby back bitch if he thinks no husband gets up with the baby. Maybe back in 1920 when women were forced to be homemakers and moms, and that's it. It's 2022. Get with the program. Boo-hoo. You have to wake up once or twice with the baby. That's because you chose to be a father. I say this at 7 weeks PP with an amazing husband who never once raised his voice at me for needing assistance postpartum, and who gets up to change diapers at 2:75 am without me even asking. Because that's his baby too. Wow. My BF and I share the parenting load equally. Honestly. When I'm woken at night I have a lot of trouble falling back asleep. So my BF actually gets up more than me during nights. We both work full-time. I work 4 long days and have 1 day watching our baby on my own when he works. One day his brother asked him why he lets me sleep in on his workday when all I had to do that day was watch the baby. My BF responded, "A day watching the baby is more tiring than a full day of working. Just because your husband doesn't know couples like this doesn't mean they don't exist. There is nothing wrong with your system." I would have outbursts like these if sleep deprivation was getting to me. So see if there is another conversation to be had when he's rested. But don't let anyone put you in a position where you sacrifice more than your husband just because you're a mom. I will preface this with, I am not a father. I haven't had the opportunity to have kids yet. But I have been in relationships with women who have had newborns to babies to toddlers, and I can say, your man is being an insensitive dick. He gets at least 6 hours of sleep without having to be responsible for his child, and only has to get up for another 4 if the baby wakes in the middle of the night. If this is something that has been going on for a significant amount of time, he would have adjusted to the sleep schedule. It sounds like he's tired of constantly having to be a parent 24/7 while still going to work, as if somehow he is entitled to have personal free time to do whatever he wants. Sleep more. What have you? He is an idiot. New parents do not get to have personal time. That is reserved for parents who, well, honestly, depending on what sort of child you have, you may not get it until at least junior high. Tell him to put on his big boy panties and suck it up. This is your guy's child, not any other man's child whom he seems to want to compare his situation to. And get used to it. I'm 33 here and I've watched my baby overnight freaking super happily too. Also, I got up 3x last night for my child while my wife slept. And now I'm sitting here on fumes at work but still have nothing but love for my beautiful family. I like to go with the my beautiful wife was willing to put her body through insane changes to help us create a family, so I'ma help her out as much as I can approach. But hey, that's just me. Similar to your husband, my husband did 11 p.m. 3 a.m. so I could get some sleep. Your husband is being ridiculous. Is he aware it's his child too? He's right, most dads don't do this. Society is misogynistic and men have the lowest of THR low bar for fatherhood and what makes a good partner. A man is seen as helping instead of doing his share of household duties. A man is seen as babysitting, as if he has given the mother a break instead of parenting. Hetero relationships are rigged towards men where any effort they do is seen as praiseworthy and him doing his share is seen as going above and beyond. Next time he says other men don't do this, say, "You're right, and that's why I should get primary custody when we divorce, because you aren't even half the parent I am." Here is the thing. It's never watching the kid. It's raising your kid. If he feels like he shouldn't help raise his kid and be a good parent, then that's messed up. Just like I don't babysit my niece. I'm with her now. I hang out and help raise my niece. He should enjoy these moments because they won't last forever, and it's important to form these crucial bonds. Tell him this 32-year-old man told him he needs to man up. I'm a mom in Canada, and because I was in school when my baby was born, I didn't qualify for parental leave. My husband did. So he took all the time he was allowed. I work. And I do the majority of the nighttime wake-ups with all 3 kids, because even with the older 2 in school, being home with a baby is hard. Much harder than anything I do at work. Ask him if he would be the only one getting up in the night if roles were reversed, or if it's just his penis getting in the way. Tired of going above and beyond? That's literally what a good parent does. Yeah, sometimes it sucks and you get tired. But it's his job as a parent. Your husband is an idiot. I am sorry to say this, but your husband is selfish. I am 42 and would get up in the night with our kids even when my wife was a stay-at-home mom. Pregnancy, giving birth, childcare, and everyday tasks are exhausting for any new mom. Whether it is your first or 5th, it still takes a toll. The idea that he shouldn't have to do it because other guys don't really bothers me. He is looking at it as a chore, like doing the dishes or laundry, instead of looking at it as time to bond with his son. Speaking from experience, the bonds you form when they are young only get stronger as they get older. Hopefully you can show him some of the comments here and he will see the error of his ways.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.